That's right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we find ourselves on the cusp of Disney's big venture into the world of streaming, even courting a war in the process, we thought it'd be nice to stay up to date on the ever growing catalog and rule on what's a must or a bust on Disney Plus. And tonight we are talking what if Ultron won? What if it was actually an age of Ultron and not just a few days of Ultron? All right, and joining us tonight, Dragon, cue up our guest.
Yes, folks. Someone brand new. You may have spotted him in the comments from time to time. Very often I know him through the the Geekvolution circle of things. The wonderful John Kelling has joined us tonight. Yeah.
I found you. I finally found you. Hi, everyone.
Good to
A
have you,
new
John.
challenger has appeared.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting discussion tonight.
Should be. All right, so Honeybee's in the comments. She says, can't believe the Watcher interfered. It's not like anyone guessed that. Yeah, right.
Does take a lot for him to get involved, though, and this was a lot.
Okay. I don't know. Honestly, guys, with this episode, I'm having a hard time just judging it on its own, just because it's like obviously we haven't seen the finale yet. Like as a standalone episode, I don't really think that that Clint and Natasha were like the most compelling characters. I do like the fact that we get kind of like the reverse sacrifice with Clint. That was cool. But I don't know, man. There was something where it's like, you know, the lack of James Spader was honestly pretty noticeable. I really wanted, yeah, you know, it honestly was like probably one of the more noticeable, like, oh, we're missing something here without having that, you know, without having the main actor. Yeah, that guy, yeah, I totally know it's the part one, and that's why I'm having, like, honestly, this was, you know, it was very intriguing, and obviously, you know, we have the Watcher going full Dragon Ball Z on Ultron at the end, which was awesome. But I don't know, besides that big, and of course, I don't know, maybe one of my favorite scenes of the whole show is just the Watcher, you know, just watching all distressed, you know, over the file cabinets. That honestly might be one of like the top 3 scenes in the whole show for me. That was great. Perfect setup. Yeah, I don't know. It's you know, I don't think it's I don't think it's a bad episode by any means. I certainly think the animation's great, and you know, it's a great setup for the finale. If I'm being honest, I kind of wish that we would have seen a little bit more setup than just you know, kind of going in from Party Thor to this and then into the finale. I kind of wish this would have been sprinkled in a little bit more throughout the continuity of the show, but I understand how that would have been tricky. But you know, I think it still definitely works as kind of like a hype for the finale for sure. All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's ask John. John, how have you been feeling about What If up to this point, and what did you think of this episode?
I've been really liking it. It's kind of felt like a fresh of breath air. The first few episodes just are literally the concept is like what if it just tells alternate stories about like different takes on things in the MCU. Um, I do agree that they probably should have peppered in a little bit more of a storyline through, but I guess retroactively you could say he kind of was unknowingly by showing us all of these heroes because we know, like by the finale, all of these heroes that we have seen throughout these different versions of the universe are going to unite against that platinum faced jerk.
So we have Mutali in the comments here. He says one thing that bothered me is that they couldn't bring back James Spader. And yeah, I absolutely agree, Mutali. We are 1000% on the same page with that.
Here's the. I've been. Yep.
I'm very curious. I'm not 100% sure. Is Blacklist still currently airing?
Well, yeah. This October, it's supposed to come back for the hopefully, fingers crossed, last season, the 9th season.
So it could entirely just be a scheduling issue.
It might be, but I recall when they were making Ultron, I mean, James Spader, he insisted on being on set for that, like, in the suit and everything. Like, he wanted to, do that. And, like, the most recent case of him just doing a voice for something was when the Blacklist was forced to do that really weird kind of finale amidst the pandemic where they had to animate most of it because they couldn't have the actors on set. So that's like the only time So I don't know how James here really feels about doing voice work. Because Ultron was kind of something special. So,
and I'm sure he had to do some ADR, no doubt, for Age of Ultron, like during during production and post production. But
yeah, sure. So by that logic, I mean, I think it might have been a scheduling thing. He was probably shooting the Blacklist. I guess, but
Right.
You know what? I don't trust the voice casting director or like who's ever in charge of the voice casting or reaching out to the talent on this. Because again, we've heard from Dave Bautista's. I wanted to be in on that. No one called me.
Yeah,
Come on.
I've heard retroactively, like, he was contacted through his agents. They just never got the message to him.
Okay, that's fair. Well, regardless, it's still just like something's. I don't know if if the message getting across to our actors is all. I think something keeps getting lost in translation with some of these guys. But then again, it might be a money thing for some. I don't know. Spader. I don't know. Spader was one of the most noticeable. I've been waiting to hear James Spader come back ever since WandaVision. I know it didn't happen because a lot of people thought White Vision might have been voiced by James Spader at first, or at least maybe in its entirety. And I've always held true like the little theory of perhaps Vision did not kill Ultron or kill all of Ultron at the end of that movie. But I don't know. I've been dying for an Ultron return. We got it, but no Spader, so it was a kind of a hollow victory. But it was a victory.
It'd be kind of like Justin Hammer coming back, but no Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Ooh, why would you put that thought in my head?
I know, right?
Now you scared the kids, Tiki.
This is the first day of October, folks. Ooh, scary.
Oh, that's true. Spooky season is upon us.
Gather around, kids, as I weave you a tale about a very popular side character played by a very eclectic actor. They got the side character back after years of anticipation, and it was just played by some no-name dude.
Okay, well, to be fair, yeah, I'm sorry, you're talking about for Sam Rockwell. Yeah, that probably would be.
Yes, I'm talking about Rockwell. Yeah.
The voice we got for Ultron in this.
I imagine they get someone like Eric Bauza or something, doing a Rockwell impression in that situation.
Does he do Rockwell? Do you know if he does Rockwell?
I have no idea. I just know he does a shit ton of impressions.
I mean, here's the thing. I know Sam Rockwell would be down to do the voiceover because he's on F is for Family all the time. He's great at voiceover. Anyway, overall, so my thoughts on the episode. I love this episode. I love the what if itself too. I just what bothers me a little bit with the episode is that it doesn't line up with the cliffhanger of last episode, where we're in the midst of the party Thor.
That bothered me too.
People have theories about that, and the theories are quite interesting.
Yeah,
multiple watchers, multiple Uatus.
That is, we know there are multiple Watchers, only this Watcher was specifically the Jeffrey Wright Watcher, though. That's the thing that kind of has me, though.
And I think there's also been, a theory, people have been spitting out about possibly sometimes we see the Watcher, he's not exactly alive anymore.
Oh.
Possibly looking upon the multiverse through his ghostly form.
Interesting.
And narrating for us. But
okay.
That could just be, aesthetic with trying to hide him in places literally in plain sight.
Because he has kind of that ethereal vibe of
right.
Only the really powerful, magically in tune beings can really see him. So
there have only been 2 times throughout the show so far where I didn't notice him the first time, where somebody pointed it out and I looked and I'm like, oh yeah, there it is.
Like that Coulson driving through New Mexico shot of
that's one of my favorite shots, yeah.
Or the one that I still couldn't catch until the second time around, second time watching, was the reflection on the car door for Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
Good one.
that was I was like, oh, pretty sneaky, sis.
So yeah. I mean, here's the thing. So when I first saw the kind of this Vision Ultron, I was jazzed out of my mind because I think it's like the coolest design ever, and it's like I could snuff out the what if, like, oh god, if he won, he would have gotten Vision's body, and like, oh god, he went on to somehow get the Infinity Stones. He's wearing like an Ultron armor with a cape.
You know what it is? It's kind of like an AI version of body horror.
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's
Well, I'm just saying that in terms of like it's it's an AI like assimilating another AI, and you have like kind of like the helpless Vision kind of like inside, like is the face. I don't know. There's something about the two faces to me that's really creepy.
right. And also the really cool thing too is being kind of like the whole in quotes son of Iron Man going on. Like when the helmet comes down, it's kind of like how Iron Man's helmet came down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, so basically, along with Killmonger, this is the second what if we've done where it's a what if the villain won story.
I think this was done a lot more interesting than Killmonger, though, because with Killmonger was pretty much just like, hey, what if he executed pretty much exactly his same plans, but better and quicker?
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
this is obviously like a game changer. This is like, okay, like, as I said in the beginning, like, it's like, okay, let's stretch Age of Ultron from a few days of Ultron into, actually living up to that movie's title.
A very simple idea. What if Ultron achieved his vision? His vision, where literally he got the body, and in getting the body, Jarvis, I guess, Jarvis does not come back, and that means, we can just launch the nukes. He doesn't even have to create the giant, vibranium, kind of meteorite. It's just the whole. You can launch the nukes and giant nuclear winter, and he's achieved peace very easily.
I still love that his plan B was just throw a big rock.
Yeah, the kind of the Killer Croc from Batman the Animated Series.
I was just about to say, Dragon, you beat me to it.
I threw a rock at it.
I almost got him.
And then, of course, we have the Thanos has just been thoroughly nerfed this season, which I honestly really like.
Yeah, we gotta get creative.
A lot of people are kind of like calling that out like into question, but for me, I like it just because it's like, all right, folks, we're in a bold new world now. Like to me, it's kind of like the same equivalent to to the Infinity Stone paperweights.
Right.
It's like, okay, Thanos, he no matter. Forget about Thanos.
But yeah, go on, John.
I was just gonna say, I'll be honest, even if neither of them had the Infinity Stones, my money's still on Ultron.
That's the really cool thing, isn't it? Where Ultron and Thanos, their end goals are the same, but they have very different ways of getting there. Where Ultron wants to wipe out all of humanity, wants to evolve through an extinction level event, where Thanos just wants to destroy half of life, all life throughout the universe.
Yeah.
Well, the Mad Titan wants balance, and the Mad AI wants peace. So
yeah,
it's funny how they go about it.
So now, of course, way. I was so shocked they got. I keep the second time it's been utterly shocked that they got away with something this violent on Disney Plus show. We cut Thanos in half.
Yeah,
oh God.
One could say we balanced him.
Then Honeybee says, "Why did Vision just do that in Infinity War?" I feel like that's what all the internet's been asking, but it's like Vision alone does not have the power of Ultron. Plus, Ultron at that point had all of the Infinity Stones.
Also, the situations were different. I mean, Ultron was just chilling out, just basking in the glory of a nuclear winter, and Thanos just shows up and he's like, "Oh, word, zap." Meanwhile, Vision, got stabbed, through the back.
Yep.
With that weird
and
glaive that Corvus had.
Yep, Corvus glaives.
First got stabbed there, in Scotland. Went to Wakanda. Shuri was trying to basically snip that stone out of his head. Had to stop halfway through. And Vision was basically like limping throughout that whole movie.
Yeah,
No.
that's a very good
And
point.
remember, when Thanos showed up, Vision was a little busy, going for the sacrificial play, so they didn't really. Vision has never squared off against Thanos. So
Oh yeah,
I'll
he was
remind
full
you.
on kill me because kill me or everyone goes.
Yeah, I'll remind you. The consistent thing we've shown through the MCU is that the people who are powered by Infinity Stones, which includes Vision, Wanda, and Captain Marvel, have all stood a good chance at taking him down. In many cases, have almost like kind of really gone toe to toe with Thanos and possibly could have defeated him. And we kind of saw the full on thing where again it's a little more of an even fight and also a little bit of a surprise factor. Thanos did not expect a Mind Stone's really going to.
I'm just laughing because like you're saying everyone that has been powered by the stones, and I'm like, and then there's Pietro who got taken out by some bullets. No, but I'm fine. You rest, Quicksilver. You had your 5 minutes of fame.
Well, I mean, she was more full on Mind Stone, the whole magic thing. That's a little. That's
True.
kind of
I always thought it was interesting that their powers gave off an energy trail. Quicksilver's was blue, like the Space Stone. Wanda's is red, like the Reality Stone. I always wondered if there was something to that.
Well, I mean, Pietro was more of I think it was more of a color scheme thing with him.
Yeah, true.
I don't know. Anywho, let's see. Anyway, yeah. So of course, once then we have just this again the awesome moment of the assemblage of like the coolest concept ever. I'm so dazzled to get this Funko, get something of this, just to get the, the Ultron, the Ultron Vision, where he just has like all the stones in the armor and everything. He's got this giant like kind of lance of some variety, and he's got like a cape. I do call BS on one aspect. It's a very small nitpick, but if you really pay attention, you'll notice. Vision should not have had the yellow cape before he.
Butali did point that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. Like, well, when they were in Oslo, I'm like, why does Ultron have a cape?
Well, Ultron has a cape.
Just weird green and red nudity going on, like earlier in the movie with Vision.
Well, Vision. Well, here's the thing. So Ultron has a cape for two reasons. It has a cape for one, like when we first saw Ultron in the movie, they kind of homage, like Ultron had like this red cloak on. So that's kind of initially what the cape's a reference. That's why the end result has a cape. The other reason is, I mean, perhaps because he defeated Thor, it's kind of like gloating over the victory thing. The helmet comes down like Iron Man. He's coated in vibranium. He has like a little cape like Thor. It's unclear, but
I suppose.
I mean, that the latter's a stretch, but again, it's evoking just kind of some Ultron stuff, and also again the vision of it all. But we should not have had the cape before and then have another cape after. If he has a thought like, yeah, maybe a cape will look, I'll give that a buy. But it's like, why does he have two capes?
Yeah, like at the very least, if you're gonna have a cape, then also make it red early on, just so there's some consistency there.
Yeah, sure. Anyways, of course, once he is kind of completed there, is just utterly terrifying and all powerful. He again, I just love the logical progression there. But okay, I'm going to take my mission and go everywhere with it. I'm gonna create peace across this whole universe, which includes Sakaar and Asgard, which pretty much does Ragnarok all over again. We kill Ego.
Yeah, kill Ego. Go to the Sovereign. Oh, the Sovereign. There's something I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ultron got the other 5 Infinity Stones from Thanos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How did Thanos get the Soul Stone?
Well, that's a good question. Well, I mean, you know what? I have no idea. I got nothing. It's a fair point. Again, that's I don't know. It's because here's the thing. If you really look at it, if you look at it, because we saw Guardians 2 as an effector, which basically times out around Age of Ultron, because that's 6 months after
Guardians 2, The Search for Spock.
Well, no,
that's Guardians 3.
Yeah, Guardians 3 is The Search for Spock.
My bad.
It could have been Guardians 2. Like maybe it happened earlier.
No, that's what I'm saying. It is Guardians 2, which takes place 6 months after the first Guardians, which bleeds into when Ultron happens.
Right. That's happening on 2015. Yeah.
So yeah, that's that's how we kill all the Guardians, and then while they're in the first act of Guardians Volume 2, it's just kind of shocking. Oh, but they haven't started yet.
You know what? I got to be honest with you guys. At this point, I'm kind of I feel like we've seen like mass waves of characters die in this show so often that I'm kind of like desensitized to it at this point.
I love the scale of it here, but you're right. We've pulled the hat trick a little too often this season.
I mean, that's honestly kind of why I was surprised that Marvel Zombies was so early into the season.
I think I know why it was so early.
Why?
I think they're gonna do a little a bait and switch. So with this they're loosely taking a little bit from the actual Age of Ultron comic, and I think with the Marvel Zombies they're going to pull from something quite recently with Secret Wars, because there is a line, I believe, Hardy Thor says in one of the trailers something about, oh yes, zombies or something to that extent. So maybe putting zombies and Ultron against each other.
Interesting.
Zombie Thanos.
Yeah, we did have that.
Zombie Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, and
That's what
Ultron
I'm saying.
with the Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Can't eat me, I'm metal.
Very true. Very true. That's why Vision was doing good in that. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. Tiki, should we direct some comments?
Yeah. Let's see. Vitelli says, my question was how was Thanos able to get the Time Stone? In the events of Age of Ultron, the Ancient One would have been dead from Ultron's attack. What do you think?
Well, I mean, even if the Ancient One's dead, the stone would still be around somewhere.
Oh, you know what? That also brings up another thing. If for sure everyone but Clint and Natasha were dead at that point, wouldn't that give Dormammu like full-on free reign to just invade this dimension?
Yeah, but that wouldn't have happened for like a year later, though. I mean, we don't know when that would have happened.
Wouldn't it? Because there's literally nobody left.
Yeah, remember, Caecilius has to call upon him, though. And if Caecilius is dead, no one's going to call Dormammu.
I mean, I always took it as he didn't do it because the sorcerers had the Eye of Agamotto as their chief weapon against him.
I'm not sure. I don't know. That's a good point, John. I just didn't really think of it that way. I mean, I forget exactly the semantics of like if they summoned Dormammu. I know they were servants of Dormammu. I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah, and then became mindless ones at the end, I think.
Yeah. So yeah.
Honeybee actually has a really good point. She says, I noticed in the episode the Watcher said your universe at least once.
Yeah.
The Watcher is aware of us. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Just from comic history. He has an extrasensory awareness. He knows that there's other people watching. I mean, when he monologues, he's not exactly just monologuing for himself. He is narrating to an audience unseen. So, speaking of that, I think one of the strongest elements of the episode was our big Watcher payoff, where he's seen by Ultron, who I love that he hears the narration of basically the Watcher giving the Ozymandias situation for the Watcher of he's conquered all the lands, he's kind of sitting there alone, and you think he's gonna like the Watcher's preparing to end the episode right now, and then Ultron turns around. It's like who said that? Much like how Age of Ultron opens when he's talking to Jarvis, what is this, please? We're just having a nice chat, that sort of thing. Just he's very curious, that Ultron. So he's just the surprise to the Watcher, who can only narrate the story, and I love the panic and vulnerability on this godlike being. What the heck was that? And I think just what's so cool about it is that we have a vested interest in he has a vested interest in the narrative, resolving itself. I think he's there's hope that perhaps the narrative will resolve itself, but it's literally dragging you into it. We have he's now watching Clint and Natasha, okay guys, you can do this. No, the box is right there.
Again, I reiterate that is one of the best scenes in the series easily.
So his panic is he's doubling down. Okay, the way this goes for the most part is that the stories will resolve themselves. So I'm going to be saved if these guys save the day. The underdogs are rooting for him. Way to go, Natasha. Show him where that file is.
Oh
when
my
you
God.
get too invested in your stories and you start yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
That's what's great about this. The Watcher's arc through this whole season is kind of teed up here, where it's kind of like how it's. So let me try to put it this way. These days with entertainment, we're all about being as interactive and in kind of enthralled in it as possible, and that's kind of about like we're all about the relationship between the fans and the entertainment and like the fan base and their investment. That's kind of what this is, and the Watcher, of course, being the ultimate bystander. We're kind of showing the consequences to being a bystander, and that sometimes you should take action, or something you feel so strongly to you, you really do feel like you're part of the action. So the Watcher, representing the audience, is pulled into the story, which I think has been kind of what maybe the show has been building to, with kind of kind of the what if fun of it all, and just kind of how big the MCU has gotten at this point. Like, how do we shake it up by Phase 4? This is how we bring you into the story with the ultimate audience member.
Mhm.
It would almost be like if Rod Sterling like just joined an episode of like one of the old Twilight Zone, like he
Tiki,
just got thrusted in.
What?
do you ever recall Rod Serling ever being like involved in the episode? Like, has he ever, like, anyone ever tapped him on the shoulder, or like says, "Hey, you"? Like, that's never happened, right?
Oh man, not that I can recall. No, not that I
Actually,
can
there
recall.
is
Yeah?
one, but it's from the new Twilight Zone.
Oh, but not Serling.
Well, that doesn't count.
No,
if it's
yes,
not
yes,
Serling.
it is Sterling.
Oh, really?
They bring him in a really interesting way.
Huh.
It's a very very meta episode.
Cool.
Like the episode itself is like a production team filming an episode of the Twilight Zone.
Wow, that actually sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
So how do we feel about Clint and Natasha's kind of navigating this kind of this nuclear winter kind of post-apocalyptic?
I mean, I like that it is kind of like definitely like the most dreary of the episodes, just as far as like you have Clint, who's pretty much lost everything. Natasha had the family, which is now gone, and they're just kind of like, it's like there's like a genuine question of why they're even going on. Like, what is there even there? What is even left to be worth fighting for? And I like that question that the episode kind of poses.
Like we saw.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, John. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go on.
I was gonna say it's also very poignant that the last two people left are Avengers, but they are seemingly, as far as like the general consensus is, the two least powerful Avengers on the team. Like that's it. That's all we got left.
Right.
As far as we know.
Yep, the ones who constantly got laughed at in all the parodies is like, oh, now it's on their shoulders. It's like the end game's on them right now.
Yeah.
And like I said, I really appreciated the reverse sacrifice. I thought that was a cool moment.
What I really liked about that too is that just with that whole kind of climax and the big sacrifice moment, we revisited, and one of my favorite elements of the episode too. We brought back Zola, and we put him in the location from Civil War. The Siberia location.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm so glad you brought up Zola. Yeah, Zola was great. Honestly, probably my favorite part of the episode.
And again, if we ever do Zola in the movies, we have a good setup for how we can get him back. Yeah, he was in that Civil. He
love
was in the base.
Ultron suit Zola. It's so great. It's such a good idea. It's so clever.
Yep, there's a deep cut too. It's the Hawkeye's data port arrow from Avengers. Where
yeah, I thought the USB arrow was a little silly, but whatever. I'm fine with it.
No, I'm saying we set it up in Avengers and it came back
Sure,
in a fun
sure.
way. So
Yeah.
at least it came back. Yeah, it's just I just really love the fact that also like we mirrored like the whole Cap and Iron Man fight, just that whole base when it was coming down and everything. We repurposed things so nicely here in our world. And speaking of repurposing things in kind of the Shield archives, or I guess technically the Hydra archives in this case, the corrupted Shield with the Siberian base, Red Guardian Shield, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which so bothers me so much. The toys had it, but the movie did not have Red Guardian Shield. That really still ticks me off about the Black Widow movie.
Speaking of Shields, Dragon, Captain America for President.
Yeah, so if I'm right, I remember. Here's the thing: there's two stories. I believe in Ultimates it ended. The Ultimate Marvel Ultimate Comics, their take on Captain America, at least in the main story, Ultimates, it ended with Cap becoming president or being offered president. Like once he was offered president, and another time I think he actually became president, and that's what this is in reference to.
He became president in the Ultimate Universe. Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much what they're doing here in the background. It's like, yay!
And then not long after, he jumped out of a jet trying to fight Galactus and fell to the ground dead.
Yeah, this is why I'm not. Ultimates is not exactly my go-to, but it happens.
No. Like Ultimates were the Ultimate comics were good, like all the way up until I want to say 2006, 2007.
Sounds about right.
Like just like a few months shy of Ultimatum, and then everything just went way downhill.
But yeah, Cap is president. That's a lot of fun.
I wonder
just going on in the background.
Somebody brought this up on one of their videos. I wonder if he was running up against President Loki.
Ooh, I'd love to see that.
That would be a fun what if for sure.
Yes, it'd be amazing.
Who would he have picked Sam for his vice? I mean, I would think that's pretty natural, right? That's a pretty natural call.
Vice President Bucky. He doesn't say much, but
I would say Bucky would be a good Secretary of State.
But he's like, no, I'm VP or nothing.
Well, he if not vice president, I mean, Bucky would probably make a great chief of staff, or he'd be like the
like head of security or something.
Yeah, like he'd be either the bodyguard or he'd be or chief of staff, and he gets things done. That James Bucky Barnes.
Buck, what do you want for your position? Surgeon General. Really? Surgeon General? Yeah.
You saw what I did for Hawkeye this episode.
Look at my arm. I know what it's like to be.
What it's like
to be in a hospital.
Let's just see this Hawkeye and Bucky Barnes be arm buddies.
Arm buddies.
Oh god! Imagine the high five, just the metal clang.
Oh my god!
And then like the climax is Rocket enters the episode and he has the drills and okay, boys, who's first?
That guy says that Bucky would be an overprotected bodyguard. And
that's what I'm saying. He would absolutely be that. It'd be great. Let's see. So, Captain Marvel had a pretty big battle on Xandar when that was going up.
I actually felt really sad when she died and Xandar blew up, more so than the little montage of all the other planets getting.
Yeah, and she never got to see Terminator 2.
I know. She was like, I'm pretty sure it doesn't need its sequel. I'm like, pretty sure it does.
I wonder if that too is a bar of of course Captain Marvel would be the one person who didn't see Terminator 2.
I'm sure, yeah, it did feel like a barb, yeah.
But here's
respect. At least you didn't see the other 700 that came out afterwards.
Oh, but something. Actually, it's a kind of a cool deep cut. I wonder if it was at all intentional. Probably not, but again, Ross Marquardt does the voice of Ultron here, doing a James Spader impression, which, I mean, it's okay, but clearly not James Spader, and resonates throughout the episode. This is not James Spader, which again, we've already...
Unfortunately.
It's Spader-esque.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Influence of Spader.
You
can kind of feel where he would go if it was voiced by James Spader.
It's got the cadence, so I mean, I'll give him that much, which I think is all anyone can do if you're not James Spader. You can only get the cadence.
Yeah.
Regardless, so Ross Marquardt, he did that amazing Blockbuster podcast where he played James Cameron, and it's about him making the Terminator movies.
Oh, what do you know? Nice.
So yeah, it is kind of relative, him playing Ultron, the whole Terminator gig.
Now, it should be pointed out that this is actually a reprisal for Ross to voice Ultron in James Spader's stead.
Really? What was the other time?
He voiced Ultron, like the MCU version of Ultron, in VR Avengers game Damage Control.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah.
Was that the one? Was that the one at the Void?
Yep.
Oh wow.
That was the one with the Void. I was always curious, like when this was coming out, and we saw glimpses of Ultron, and I'm like, ooh, if they don't get Spader, I wonder if they'll get Ross to reprise his role.
Well, now we know.
So that's two villains.
Disney usually has I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the terminal of the theater, an understudy, if you will.
Sure.
I mean, he
And
fancies himself a celebrity impressionist, which I think he does a good job for a lot of his impressions.
well, he does a fantastic James Cameron. We know that much.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
the,
so
the
as
Red Skull's pretty, half the time I couldn't tell the difference.
yeah, he's great as the Red Skull, Mark Watt. He's he did a really good job, of course, but not just in What If, but the movies as well. He took over when he popped up again in
Yep.
Infinity Saga, which he was great at. And the word is, if Red Skull might be making a reappearance in this Captain America 4 movie, perhaps they get Ross Marquardt again. I don't know how that works, but
It
might get
sounds
him
like
again.
this guy could potentially be a like a voice actor that could potentially just come in and just kind of like fill the gaps when we need him to for a lot of different people.
Sure. Yeah, it sounds. I'd buy that. Yeah. All right. Let's see. So
I am totally blanking on the person that does that at Disney, and I feel fucking stupid.
Corey
I'm
Burton.
sorry. Yeah, Burton. I'm sorry. Oh my god, why was I blanking on
very
that?
much like Corey Burton, yes, and Corey Burton rocks. Oh my god, he's so cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
saying.
great.
Like, if this guy could kind of like establish like a Corey Burton level, like, okay, like this is the guy you call when you can't get the voice, then I think he would definitely have a level of kind of like prominence in the MCU. I'd really respect that.
So, guys, what did we think of that mind-bending fight between the Watcher and Vision Ultron when they're punching each other through realities and
I
everything?
mean, I think it's safe to say it's probably like the best fight scene of the series so far, right? Pretty safe to say.
Yeah, I think
Look,
so. Yeah.
like if nothing else, they made the Watcher headbutt somebody with that big old head.
Yeah.
Totally.
And remember, he had that sweet armor on. I love it when like he ditched the robes and he had like the sweet armor. Like, I did not.
I
Like,
really,
oh my
really
god!
dig his design and the armor. I mean, I keep saying Dragon Ball Z, but come on, this is straight Vegeta armor right here.
That also, I'm pretty sure that armor is like, or something like it, is straight out of the comics.
I'm pretty sure it is, John. I'm pretty sure you're right.
See, I haven't read much of the Watcher outside of like maybe pops up from time to time, like the Fantastic Four with the Ultimate
Who
Nullifier.
watches the Watcher?
Yes.
Sorry.
It's us. We watch the Watcher. That's us.
We watch the Watcher watching the Watched, who now are going
God.
after the Watcher.
Who watches
Yes,
the Watcher?
yes.
Well,
Okay,
that's the
I'm
answer.
glad
It
we
was
have that
Ultron.
all established, guys.
Anyway, but yeah, like I for me, it was like a complete like I've never seen the Watcher fight in my life. So seeing that happen, like, oh my god!
I've also never really seen the Watcher like scared like this. I've seen him like worried, but not scared.
Yes, and I love that we've kind of teed that up where he was like he was invested in the Doctor Strange story, which pays off wonderfully here, and just like we're putting him like truly like in a state of kind of panic and dread, and like, oh god, the Watcher's really back into the corner, and the arc overall is just great because hey, he's kind of inch by inch, kind of he's bending the vow to eventually being prepared to break it for the finale, for the second part of the for the finale of the season, where he's like he was attacked first, okay, like he's kind of intervening, but he was kind of defending himself to the point where he's gonna have to break the rule, which is big.
I'm not intervening. I'm fighting back.
Yeah. You cannot compute the power of my will.
I always imagine it'd be hilarious if the Watcher was just accidentally like leaning against a button so that the microphone was on while he was narrating. So that's why Ultron was able to hear him. Like it's just one big technical error.
See, the funny thing is that the Watcher, because of his head size, he's actually like the the Wizard of Oz without the man from behind the curtain. He's both the man behind the curtain and the giant projection of the giant green head.
Yes, he is the all-knowing, all-seeing, like formidable, like majestic, mysterious, ethereal man, and also he's the really, really scared dude that doesn't want to deal with this crap right now.
We really got to see the Watcher do like a Tootsie Pop commercial. That's how we bring those back.
Oh my god.
All right, so Mutale brings up an excellent point amidst that crazy fight. And Ultron devouring a galaxy was crazy. Yes, we did a little homage to Galactus with Ultron there. Plus with that helmet, he kind of has like the little fins like Galactus. It's a little bit. Takes a bite out of it like a cookie.
as cool as it was to see him like bite down on a galaxy, I don't even want to know how many calories that was. But it was almost as cool, if not even cooler, to see him from the ground point of view, where like he's just outside of the stratosphere. He's like somewhat transparent, but like he's so imposing on that part of that galaxy that he just like takes up like half of the sky. That was stellar.
Yeah. So I love the ending of this episode. I love the irony of, again, the only chance that he has, and again I like that. Again, I love that we've. It seems like we're putting things very much in kind of like an Infinity Saga to end the season to a degree, where where Doctor Strange is kind of our only hope. He's the one giving us that like one 14 million reality sort of situation here, only with the Dark Doctor Strange, where it's like the irony of you're in the same position as you were at the end of that Doctor Strange episode. The only other guy who can possibly see you and possibly help you got to crawl back to, and he's not going to let you forget it. Like, hey, you let my reality end because of your rules, and you're asking me for help? Oh, I'll help you, but I'm not going to remember this.
I'm curious now. I'm wondering if the end game eventually is to just strip him of the stones and just throw him into that prism bubble that Strange was in originally.
I mean, let's say, okay, so if we remove the stones, then, well, yeah, we kind of saw him. He's still pretty formidable without the stones. So, yeah, he could be destroyed without the stones. So it would just be someone powerful.
But there's always the threat, of the multiverse. I mean, it's it's gonna be tough because just the concept of the multiverse means like anything can happen. So that means like there can be like an infinite number of universes where this keeps happening, anyways.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm definitely looking forward to next Wednesday. I usually stay up like all night for these episodes.
Me too.
Probably terrible for me, but I do it. I do it for you, the people that I don't talk to.
Yep. All right, let's see. That guy says, so the number of people who are messing with the multiverse continues to grow. We got Loki, we got Doctor Strange. We got Spider-Man.
I'm glad he mentioned that, because the multiverse is just getting like it's
Matter.
it's getting hit from all sides.
Yes, it is. Oh, for sure it is. Yeah.
I mean, that's what kind of happens when anything's possible. Everything happens.
Oh yeah, so I'm assuming we are building a team to save the day. I'll be shocked if we don't build a team. Save the day. The marketing has been all wrong this whole time. Because I'm gonna be.
It's just Dark Doctor Strange, and that's it.
There's gonna be so many angry people if the last episode of this season is just the Gamora. What if Gamora were the Mad Titan episode?
Oh my god! Oh my god! That would be amazing.
I'm just going to assume what we're gonna do next episode is she might be the foray into continuing the main story, and that's how we're gonna get her to complete the ensemble. That's
honestly,
a guess.
I would love if she just shows up, no explanation. Like that's the tease for season 2. Is that like, yes, the episode 1 of season 2 is gonna be her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good stuff. Tiki, before we get out of here, we should mention the poll.
Yeah, okay, so it was pretty divisive this week. Let me see, let me pull it up officially. Hold on, let me get the final tally here.
Also, we're kind of seeing the bright light, Tiki.
I don't know why that happens, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, sorry guys, 1 second. Okay, so yeah, it's still at a 5 out of 5 with 43%, but 4 is at 36%. And Dragon, this is something like I think I have a system in place. I need to go over it with you. But I definitely don't think it's at the top of our rankings. I'd say it's probably somewhere comfortable in our rankings, like in the middle. I think most of them, except for like 1 or 2, have gotten 5 out of 5s overall. So, we're really gonna have to kind of do the math to figure out how we rank them from there. But that will be for a podcast that happens after I get back. So look forward to that. All right. Anyways, any other thoughts, guys? Oh my god, it did it again.
I know.
Why?
It's Ultron, man. It's freaking Ultron. He's trying to evolve us by extincting us again.
Yes. All right. Let's get out of here before.
Well, let's thank the folks. Let's thank the folks.
Okay. Yeah. So big thanks to Mutale, that guy, Honeybee. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. All right.
Also, John.
Oh yeah, and John Kellen. Yeah, hey, John Kellen. Yeah,
Hi,
sorry.
everyone. I finally cheated my way to the top.
So yeah, big thanks to John for coming on. And y'all rock. Have a good night. I will not be here next week for the finale. I will be in Tennessee. I will also be posting a bunch of blogs then, so look forward to that. Anyways, yeah, fun times all around. Okay. So that'll do it for us this week as we holster our remotes till the next installment calls for the draw. Mano y mano, just plus, and us.
Iron Man bites the dust again.